everyone, welcome to Trade. Just putting an other expiry day live trade that I've taken. Though we had a pretty strong gap up based on the global market. The US market recovered after the Fed announcement. I really don't know what he announced and whether it's good or bad, but there was an event yesterday after that which the market shot up. But based on my analysis yesterday, I had this red line and I had mentioned that 37,000 is hard to break. But because of the huge gap up, I did expect probably some kind of short covering will kick in. But that didn't happen. The initial candle itself, we were getting a good bearish candle on the downside. So I've taken an entry of 10 lots, 37,000 put. Okay, and see, I've already pushed too much into the video. I think I edited too much. I entered there where I've circled short entry. While cutting the clip, I've cut too much of the clip. I guess, okay, that's fine, no problem. See, initially when we started off, the 37,000 open interest had about 27. Now it's about 43. So there's a good amount of call selling that came in. That's the reason I held on to the trade. I took a shot at this level where I've marked short entry at the previous day high. You can see those two wicks on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, we got a good rejection. See, it's not advisable to be on 1 minute. You need a lot of experience and price action reading for 1 minute, but 1 minute shows some good wicks being formed at certain support and resistance. See, this is the gap that we had today, right? The gap up. So I'm hoping that the gap would get filled. My first target was the CPR. The first target hit, but the way we came down, right? The selling pressure came. I do have a feeling the gap could get filled. That's why I'm holding on to the trade. I've not booked profit. On any other day, if it was not such a big gap down, gap up, I would have booked my profit already when we hit the CPR. Now this trend line is kind of breaking down, so I'm just holding on to it. But once again, it's not advisable to be on a 1 minute time frame when we are scalping or entering. That requires a lot of experience. It's just that, see, this is the blue gap that I've marked, right? The blue, the gap up that we had the entire. So I have a feeling, based on my view, the way we came into this gap, the gap could get filled. So my plan is to wait until and see if the CPR breaks and the gap gets filled. But there is a strong support in the option chain at 36,800. See, 900 also there's a support, but the OI started reducing. So that's why we slipped. But 36,800 OI has not come down. I'll be showing that to you in the option chain. So I entered at about 919 and right now it's about 950 and it's going good. We had a gap up of 300 points but the exact gap right now is about 174 points from the opening candle. See, I've entered 10 lots at 9:19 a.m. for about 134. I'll be showing you the detailed order. See, if you can see the in the open interest, the 38,000 was not falling much as compared to 36,900. So I was ready to book profit from now if I get a good kind of a reversal wick at any of the supports that I have. The supports that I have is the CPR and the gap and the previous day low. I'm already almost like 40 or 1 hour into the trade. It's 9:19 when I entered and now it's 9:50. If you see, even in my last video, the entry was at 9:19. Is there any specific reason? No, it just happens to be that is where sometimes you get some confirmation. See, at this point, I was just trying to see how much more points is left to be covered. See, in the last screenshot, you saw 13 or something in the 900 put. Right now, it's come to 12.5. But the 800 put is still there, 15.4. That is not reducing. So, we know that people are not exiting 800 put. The sellers are not exiting 800 put. So, which is a good support. So that's why anywhere close to 800 we will have to exit. I'll be showing you my order book as well when I entered, exited. And just the way to understand the open chain, right? I'll be coming up with a video on my Discord server soon. But just to understand the open interest, you just see the way, if anybody can open 37,000, call OI and check. I have not opened it here. See, right now we still had about 50 points for the gap to fill. So I was just waiting to see if that 50 points gets covered. See, the way we opened at 27,000, around 27 lakh OI, and the 37,000 call jumped to 47, nearly 90% or double, right? So that's the reason was convincing that we could slip. See, right at the CPR bottom line on 1 minute, when I started seeing this kind of a rejection, that is where I decided to exit. And this is where I exited. Let's see what time. See, we covered the entire CPR and not sure if CPR, and we're very close to the open interest support of 36,800. So why take a chance? I'm just missing the gap by few points, right? Like 50 or 30, 20 or 50 points. The gap fill was my target. So why lose some money when you are in good profit just because your target of the gap didn't get filled with few points, right? So this is where I decided to exit. And even see, this is where I was trying to point that 36,800 OI is not reducing, and that could act as a good support. And at about 10 or 10.9 is where I exited. And this is where I exited. Now I'm just going to the order book. See, I exited at 9.19 and exited at 10.07. So that's almost like 35 minutes. And I took 10 lots at 135 and exited at 225. I did see at one point profit of 25 or 26 when the premium went to 234 or 235 something. But we shouldn't be worried about all that. It's not always you can capture everything, right? Now, I'm not a big fan of calculating ROI for each of my trades, but it's just that on an expiry day, I went with 10 lots, which is a bit risky move. I just want to calculate. My investment was 33,000 and my profit is around 22,600. So just looking at I don't do this ROI calculation every day. I'm not a big fan of it, but just doing it since on an expiry day, I took 10 lots. 67 into 100 is around 67% ROI in scalping using CPR logic. That is, previous day high R1 is not taken out. We could reverse to the CPR. We did, and we did a dip a little bit more, came all the way. Usually either it is a CPR top line or the pivot I exit, but today I was hoping for the gap fill. That's why I stayed. But I think right when I was doing this video, we even actually filled the gap and we started reversing. When I was recording the audio for this video, I'm looking at the chart on my other screen and I see we filled the gap and we started reversing. So according to me, mine was a good exit. If anybody had waited for the gap and gone through the entire gap fill and then exited also, that was a good entry. Now my next possibility is this. We could see a reversal, and if the CPR breaks, again a retest of CPR, then probably I would short later on at about 12 or 12:30. Or we might go until the CPR top line TC and again get a rejection and come down. So that is my view, but my next trade will be probably post 12 or 12:30. Let's see if I can sustain this profit or will I lose some of this profit. Anyway, in the analysis video, in the end of the day, you will get to see that. So for now, that's it. It's about 22,000 rupees profit and I'm pretty happy about it. Thank you.